All right, welcome in everybody to the Rocky Top Insider Reaction Show from Bridgestone Arena. Ryan Schumpert, Rick Butler standing here as Tennessee drops his third game in a row. This one coming to Illinois by a score of 75-62. Ryan, as we stand here and get this reaction done with, what are you thinking about an hour after the game?
Yeah, I think just with the game itself, Tennessee led by one with 10 minutes left and had a chance to get this one and really just played very, very poorly down the stretch. So I don't think anything was super new in this game. Most of the issues we've seen from Tennessee in their previous two losses or even in the Houston win or even early in the season. But those issues persisting and being as prevalent as they were, certainly worrisome for the Vols.
Yeah, Tennessee went into the halftime break up by 2 points. Illinois quickly came back and tied things up and grabbed the lead there in the second half. There were a couple moments where Tennessee did grab that lead, but ultimately Fighting Illini were just able to match that, and then eventually what you say kind of lead into that final break. And you can look into that final stretch of the game and you can see where it was lost, and ultimately Illinois just had more juice than Tennessee at the end of the game, had more composure as well.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the thing that stands out too. Like you look, this team, and Rick Barnes talked a lot about this team not being like what they practice and not understanding the little things of winning. And it's, to me, this game in the final 10 minutes felt some like the Kansas game, and it just didn't feel like Tennessee had another punch to bring. And not that the team gave up. I don't think that I would say that's true, but all the offensive rebounds Tennessee gave up in the final few minutes of the game were just brutal, and it did not feel like they did the little things they needed to win. And not that the team can't find that at some point, but certainly for that to show up twice in short order. And in a game tonight where Tennessee should have had some desperation, you would have liked to see them to have more of a response in a moment like that.
Yeah, and I think kind of one of the questions is just who's going to step up for this team in some of these crunch moments. Jacoby Gillespie led Tennessee with 15 points, but did so on 6 of 20 shooting. Nate Inman, continues some of his inefficiencies, going 4 of 14 for 9 points in this game himself. So those are obviously two of Tennessee's impact players, but ultimately Tennessee's going to need some more starting down low as well. You saw some of those looks get there, but Tennessee wasn't able to get enough done in order to win a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, I think both those things are true, where Tennessee needs more efficiency from Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Inman. Nate especially was really struggled again tonight. He got a couple baskets to go late, a couple second chance ones and some easier ones. Jacoby, it feels like they continue to just put a ton on his shoulders from a usage rate standpoint. So both those guys need to be better. Rick Barnes says he would like to see them take some fewer shots, get the ball inside more. But like you said, tonight Tennessee missed some easy ones around the rim. Jalen Carey, it wasn't like any of the big men's misses were wide open layups. Jacoby Gillespie did miss 2 wide open layups. But shots you expect him to make. JP Estrella had one where he got the ball good positioning and was a rare miss on a little quick turnaround for him. So areas for those guys to be better, and I think you're right. The way this roster is built, the way they're going to have to play inside more, those guys have to shoot better, and they have to shoot better when they get to the free throw line. Tennessee was 8 of 18 at the foul line tonight. Felix Okpara was 0 for 4. Jalen Carey, 1 for 2, I want to say. So Dwayne Brown 1 for 2. Some of the easy stuff offensively, Tennessee just did not do a good job of tonight.
Yeah, I thought Rick Barnes had a really interesting talking point after the game. He had plenty of them, but one of them was this team just isn't doing enough of the little things, the details to win games like this, and I think that's something important for this game to learn. But it's a lot of what we were just talking about. It's you got to be able to have your big men finish those shots on the inside. You got to have guards be able to step up and be leaders late in the game. Tennessee said they're still looking for their vocal leaders, trying to figure out who that's going to be. Amari Abrams said so after the game, but I think that's ultimately what he's talking about. It's just some of those details. 8 of 16 from the free throw line. It's not going to cut it. As we're going to start to 8 of 18, as we're going to start to cut it here as Bridgestone Arena is actively breaking down here behind us. But he also talked about just maybe not making the right read or the right move after a timeout, something of those certain circumstances. I'd imagine that's a lot of what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think that's probably very maddening for a coach, and Rick Barnes talked about that multiple times this year. So those areas need to be better. That is so loud.
It sounds like a tornado siren.
Well, yeah, it does. I guess my quick hitters that we haven't hit on, we'll keep it quick.
Yeah.
But I think one of the more worrisome things about this team is they just cannot stay in front of the ball right now. Their ball defense is very, very bad. Too many times tonight, too. Illinois was able to get it to where they wanted to, down low. The defense in the second half was horrible for Tennessee, and it's been that way a couple times. You want a couple positives. Offensive rebounding was really good against a great defensive rebounding team, so it was good to see them do that. And I did think Amari Abrams gave Tennessee a spark off the bench, and really Tennessee's bench as a whole was pretty good tonight.
Yeah.
So, certainly
24 to 13 bench points.
Yeah, through 32 minutes of this game, I thought Tennessee might not win, but I liked a lot of what I saw. But there were some issues, and those things really ballooned in the final 10 minutes, and Tennessee lets the game get away.
It sounds like the siren that was going off before the Death Star blew up that planet in Star Wars Rogue One. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. We'll have plenty more of our thoughts and reaction over at RockyTopInsider.com. It's Ryan Schumpert. I'm Rick Butler.
One positive thought, if you spin zone, Tennessee lost 3 games in a row early 2 years ago. So they've been in this position. It's a long season.
Rick Barnes, veteran coach.
Get it back. Yeah.
He'll get it back. Ryan Schumpert, Rick Butler. Thanks for watching the Rocky Top Insider Reaction.